Hello there, my faithful ones. Welcome to the vid. It's me, Edwin the Jesús, and today I'm going to be talking about the fall of the devil and the birth of sin. So, it's common knowledge that Satan was once an angel who was called Lucifer. We learn a great deal about him in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 28, starting at verse 13. It reads, "Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold. The workmanship of thy tabrets and of thy pipes was prepared in thee the day thou wast created. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee so. Thou wast upon the holy mountain of God. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. Thou wast perfect in all thy ways from the day that thou wast created, till iniquity was found in thee. By the multitude of thy merchandise, they have filled the midst of thee with violence, and thou hast sinned. Therefore I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain of God. I will destroy thee, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire. Thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground. I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee." So, we learn that Lucifer had a high position as the cherub who covers. He was anointed and had authority over his fellow angels. He was the angel in charge of praise and worship, since it seems like he was some type of living musical instrument according to the pipes and tabrets which were literally in him. He no doubt was in the presence of God, constantly worshiping him, and God gave him great wisdom and knowledge. He even made him beautiful beyond imagination, with all kinds of gems adorning him and a brilliant light covering him. Lucifer was perfect, but the problem with that is that he was completely aware of it. This is where sin was born, out of his pride. We learn exactly the full extent of his pride in another book of the Bible, called the Book of Isaiah. In chapter 14, starting in verse 12, it basically says this: "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit upon the mount of congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." So, these are the 5 I wills of Lucifer and their meanings. I will ascend into heaven, meaning that he wanted to break into the highest of heavens where God dwells. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, meaning that he wanted to have his own throne or high position to exercise his authority above the other angels, who are referred to as the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of congregation, meaning he wanted to be enthroned in the highest place for all angels to submit to him. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, meaning that he wanted to be equal to God, ruler over all creation, beholden to absolutely no one. The first sin was pride, and it was born in the heart of an angel in heaven. Interestingly enough, he said this all in his heart, or rather his thoughts, which is very important that sin was born from there, and it's a good reminder to guard your thoughts, because just a thought can lead to a sin. Satan's thoughts led him to seek the throne of God by force. In Revelation chapter 12, verses 7 through 9, it says this: "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought at his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. In the book of Luke, chapter 10, verse 8, Jesus says that he talks about the fall of Lucifer, now called Satan, saying, "He said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning falling from heaven." Interestingly enough, it says that Satan took a third of the stars of heaven with him, meaning that a third of the angels rebelled with him, no doubt angels who were under his authority. After this fall, Satan then swore to wage war against God and his people for the rest of his existence. But with the death of Jesus, he lost that battle, and now his time is running out. For the end times, now, Satan will have his short season to try one last time to overcome the people of God. But as it is written in the Bible, he will fail once again. He will then be thrown down into the eternal lake of fire with all those who followed him. And there he shall burn forever. In that day he will realize that he is no God in the presence of Jesus Christ, who shall smite him. So guys, that's about the whole video, and this video is called The Birth of Sin and the Fall of Lucifer. And yeah, it's a very interesting story that a being so blessed and wise could fall and become so foolish and damned, really. And it really serves that no one is greater than God, and that all that we have is given by God. All goodness comes from God. And so, to never forget that, and to, I guess always just be happy, because Satan had probably one of the highest positions in all of existence, yet that wasn't enough for him. He wanted more because he felt entitled to it because of all the goodness that God gave him that he didn't just get for himself. So, let this serve as a catalyst and a warning. Guard your thoughts, always be thankful, and remember that all goodness comes from God. And, please like, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you next video. Until then, bye everyone.